Because if you're like me, I like focus. I like to be able to say, I'm going to do one thing and do it well and implement it in my business. And then once I implement it, then I can move on to doing something else, okay? I don't want people to get to the point where they're overwhelmed with all the different things they could do, and so they never do anything at all, okay? And at the end of the course, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to go around the room, and I'd like you guys to be prepared, one sentence, to be able to say, what's the one thing that you are going to do with Savvycard? And it's okay to say, I'm not going to use it, okay? Now, part of what I'd like for you to do during this course is I'd like for you to be thinking about, do you think this is a valuable tool? And it's okay if the answer is no. If the answer is no, that helps me to understand that we either need to add more functionality or modify our functionality so that it is valuable. I don't want to provide a tool that doesn't create value for you. Neither does Orange County, right? Neither does CRMLS. So at the end of the course, I'd like to be able to understand, do you think this is a valuable tool and will you use it? Okay, and we'll talk about that at the end of the course. So let me get back to the beginning of my slide presentation. Okay. All right, my name is David Etheredge, and I'm the CEO of Savvycard. We're based in St. Petersburg, Florida, right? My mother lives in Fallbrook, so I drove up this morning from Fallbrook to Laguna. Is this Laguna Hills, right? It's not Laguna Beach. So I drove up this morning. I love working with CRMLS in Orange County in particular because it's an excuse to come out and hang out with my mom, who makes the best brisket in the world. So every time I fly out, she has a brisket waiting for me. And so if you guys want more training, please request it from leadership so that I have an excuse to come hang out with my mom. So now you want brisket. So next time I do a class, I got to bring some brisket. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to tell you about Savvycard, and I'm going to start with an orientation so you know what it is. But I want to get to the meat, to the brisket of the presentation. I want to tell you how to use it to grow your business. And so we do that using what we call 60-second sales strategies. Why are they 60-second sales strategies? They're going to take 5 to 10 minutes for me to teach and 60 seconds for you to use. My mother-in-law and father-in-law are both Coldwell Banker real estate agents. They've been agents for 30 years. Both of them tell me they don't use technology. They're all about relationships with their customers, right? So they're like, technology, I'm not into technology. Well, all of their customers have kids now who are buying homes, and they're calling up and saying, Auntie Denise, I need to buy a home. And Auntie Denise can't say, I don't do technology. She's got to deal with the fact that these 25 and 35-year-old customers who are the kids of her existing clients want access to tools and services that will help them make a decision on a home based on technology, right? And so we've worked really hard to understand how realtors want to consume our product. And the way that they want to consume it is they want us to share with them a very simple strategy for how they use it in the marketplace so they look sophisticated, but they don't have to do a lot of extra work, which I don't think anybody wants to do more work. So I'm going to teach you 2 of these courses today. The first one is Share and Text, and the second one is Seller Share, right? But all of these courses are available on Savvy School, and you'll be able to go and take the other courses like Listing Social Share on Savvy School and learn more about that. And in the future, we'll come back out and feature some of these other courses. So this is the URL for Savvy School. It's pretty simple. It's just savvycard.com/Savvy School. Okay? All right? So we'll get into the orientation now. First thing I want to say about Savvycard is everything I'm going to teach you today is free. No bait and switch, no paywalls, no unexpected expenses. We had one lady who went to get her card and ended up on the Savvycard for Business page, which is $149.09 a month. That's a mortgage. If a mortgage broker wants to buy Savvycard and use it in their business, they go and they purchase it individually. But CRMLS and Orange County have paid for this product for you, and everything I'm going to teach you today is included in your member benefit from Orange County. Okay? So if anybody asks the question, how much is that during the presentation, you got to give me $1, okay? Because it's free, okay? at the end of the, I'm sorry?
No.
No worries. Okay, so what is Savvycard? Okay, Savvycard takes MLS data and automatically creates what's called a cloud app for each agent in the association and for each property listing in the association. This is the agent Savvycard for a real estate agent that I use in Tampa, and this is the property Savvycard for a home that one of the Tampa realtors listed on the MLS, okay? Now, cloud applications, what does that mean? So everybody in the room has probably downloaded an app from the Android or the Apple App Store, okay? Do we enjoy downloading apps? Do you like look forward to it every morning? You wake up and say, maybe I get to download a new app today. Is that fun? Okay. It's not fun because you gotta go find the app on the App Store, you gotta download it. Many times we forget our password, and passwords are one of the most irritating things that we deal with on a daily basis. So there's friction in downloading applications. I think we can all agree to that, okay? So cloud applications are cool because they don't require a download, right? You don't have to go to the App Store, remember your password to get them, okay? Anybody in here a Keller Williams agent? Okay, Keller Williams has a great app called Keller. And most brokerages have great applications that are provided by the brokerage. Or you get applications provided by your association, maybe MLS Touch, right? Maybe HomeSnap, okay? What I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about why Savvycard is different from those applications and not competitive, but complementary to those applications, okay? But here's the simple thing to remember with Savvycard. These are like websites. They have a URL, and you can share them by text or email or social media to anybody on any device. On their iPhone, on their Android, on their tablet, on their desktop, on their laptop. Works on any device with a web browser, okay? But it does things that other applications do. So it's as easy to get to as a website, but it's as powerful as native applications. And anybody in here like to go to ESPN and check out scores, college basketball or something? Yeah? Anybody in here use the Starbucks website ever, okay? Or go and get news from, and this always causes a rift, either CNN or Fox, right? So let's just all agree we go to a news site to get news. You've been using cloud applications and you didn't even know it, okay? ESPN system that allows you to watch a game as it's progressing, when you click over from their website to that, you've just started using a cloud application and it was seamless. You didn't even know that you were switching to it. That's how easy these things are to use, okay?
So they don't have to download any kind of app.
They don't.
Right?
So how many people here did I help put Savvycard onto your phone before the presentation started? Like there were half a dozen of you. We didn't have to go to the App Store and download it. We just clicked the link and it opened, right? And then we saved it to the home screen using a button called Add to Home Screen. And I'm going to walk you through how to do that later. But let me talk about the reality with your HomeSnap or your Kelly app or something like that. So let's say that you and I meet at Starbucks and you're a realtor and I'm talking about the fact that, oh man, I got a value on my home from Zillow and it seems like it's really off. And you're like, let me share my application to you so that you can get an accurate home valuation, right? That's a fairly common way that you want to engage with somebody, okay? What we know from data is this. If you start building a relationship by saying, you want to download my app, how do people respond? Okay? Anybody know about fainting goats? Like the goats that when you scare them, they just fall on their back, right? That's how people are like, you don't want to start a relationship where you're attempting to position yourself as an advocate and as a value creator for this prospect by asking them to do work first. Anybody disagree with that? I mean, does that make sense? Okay? So what you really want to do is you want to start the relationship by creating value. You want to build a relationship by putting forth something of value to them that makes them feel like this person is going to make it easier for me to buy a home or easier for me to pick the right community. Not, this person's going to give me homework. Okay? So that's part of what we're going to do today is I'm going to talk to you about how you use your Savvycard to authentically and naturally start a relationship with a prospect that will eventually allow you to get them to download your Kelly app or your MLS Touch app or to go to your website or to engage with the other tools that you've already got. But we're going to use Savvycard as the way to start the relationship on the right foot so that they want to do business with you, okay? So we're going to start off with a breakdown of what an agent Savvycard is and what it does. Then I'm going to show you a property Savvycard. Then we're going to make sure everybody's got it on their phone. And then we're going to move to these two 60-second sales strategies that are both beneficial for listing agents and for buy-side agents. And they're beneficial for agents who've been in the business for a while with established business strategies and for new agents who are just getting started, okay? So I'm going to hopefully provide something of value to everybody in the room, right? So, agent Savvycards. This is what a Savvycard looks like when it's fully customized, when it has your photo on it and your brokerage image on it. And how much is it going to cost for you to get your photo and your brokerage imagery on your Savvycard? Zero, okay? I'm going to show you how to do this. You're just going to share your photo to our customer support team. They're going to customize it. They're going to crop it. They're going to cut it out. They're going to put it on the background so it looks great. And a little secret, if you want to tell them, can you do a little extra, like, can I get bigger guns or, lose a couple of pounds or something? Can you make me look like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Just ask and they'll probably help you out with that, okay? So the bottom line is you send a good photo to them, they're going to put it on your card, and then you tell them you want your background customized for your brokerage, and they're going to do that using assets on the web, and it's not going to cost you anything.
And you can change that periodically?
So I always get this question, it's sort of fun. So I have a couple of realtors who will change it like once a year, they'll change it and stuff. But if you're calling up every week and say, I got a new dress this week and I want to put a new photo up on the thing, we're going to have to start charging you at some point. But if you're reasonable about it, once every 6 months, once a year, you want to send a new photo in, it's no problem, okay? So what's cool about this card is when you get it customized and someone saves it to the home screen of their phone, it's going to put your face on the home screen of their phone. Okay? What's that? So your mom will be good with it, right? So everybody has somebody who loves their face, right? So the bottom line is this. So the bottom line is whether you're putting this on the home screen of your team member's phone, the other people that you sell real estate with, so that it's easier for them to contact you. Or you're putting it on the home screen of your referral partner's phone, so that the mortgage agent or the title agent, or I've got a friend in Tampa whose her best girlfriend is a salesperson for Mercedes-Benz. And so they both have their Savvycards on each other's home screen of their phone, so that when a client walks into the Mercedes-Benz dealership and says, yeah, I just scored a big CEO job in town, I'm here temporarily looking for a home, the Mercedes rep can press the face of her friend, share the card to that person, and create a warm, qualified lead in real time for her friend off of the home screen of her phone. So even if you don't want to put it on your customer's phone for whatever reason, there's other uses for this that are really, really powerful.
All right, so it's not automatic.
Not automatic. People have to choose to do it. That's another theme with Savvycard. There are a lot of tools out there today, okay, that do things with the information of the customer without their permission.
I hate
Okay?
that. Yeah.
Everybody hates that. You guys have heard of CCPA, right? California Consumer Protection Act. If you have not heard of CCPA, I think the full legislation went into effect in January in California. You probably, if you closed on a transaction, you had an additional disclosure sheet that was associated with CCPA. If you don't know what this is, I highly recommend you go to your broker and you ask them if they can share information to you, because it's going to change the way that we do business as it relates to how we handle personally identifiable information and how we deal with people in the marketplace, right? The net of CCPA is we have to be much more concerned with protecting people's information and much more concerned with asking permission before we data. Does all that make sense? Okay? So Savvycard. Why am I bringing that up as it relates to Savvycard? I invariably get a question from the audience every time where they say, if somebody goes to my Savvycard and they click to look at my listings, am I notified that that's happening? And the answer is no. Savvycard is all opt-in for the consumer. If they want to schedule a showing on the listing, you'll get a notification that they want to schedule a showing. If they want to call you to get more, answer questions about a property listing, they hit the call button and they call you. But the bottom line is when you share your Savvycard to people, if they use it, we're not doing anything with their data that is not above board, that they have not been told about, okay? So we're trying to use Savvycard and maintain the highest levels of adherence to these new laws like CCPA and other laws that are going to be following in other states in the future. So your agent Savvycard, let's break it down a little bit. So the first thing is, a lot of people see an agent Savvycard and they go, oh, it's a digital business card, right? So yes, but it's a Swiss Army knife too. So it's a digital business card and a personal website and a personal application. It can be used for a lot of different uses, okay? But if you think about handing out business cards, and when I show you the share and text class, I'm going to walk you through how to replace business cards with using your Savvycard and do a better job of prospecting. But if you think about handing out business cards, you go, here's my contact information, right? Are you creating value for that person? Okay, they've got your name and your number. Now you can hand out your digital business card and it's got an IDX Search bundled right into it. And oh, by the way, because we conform to CCPA, they can use the IDX Search on your Savvycard knowing that their information is not going to be sold to anybody. Knowing that they're not going to get a bunch of phone calls from other people, right? Go to Zillow, put in your information to use their search, they're selling your data. They're selling you as a lead. Realtor.com, same thing, right? So one of the things you can do with your Savvycard is you can say, let me share my Savvycard to you. It has an IDX Search on it, and it's accurate because it's coming from the authoritative source, the MLS, and no one's going to bother you. You're in control of whether you want to follow up with me, okay?
What's the real time of the IDX updating?
So we update IDX every 15 minutes or less.
Okay, so it's real time.
Near real time is what we call it. I wish it was real time. I mean, but it's close enough for government work, right? So the second thing in Savvycard is that it includes a very simple lead capture system. Is there anybody in here who hands out business cards regularly as a part of your business? Okay. Anybody hand out 500 or more a year? How about 1,000? Nobody? Okay, good. So 500. If you hand out 500 a year, and you've been in business for 10 years, you've handed out 5,000 business cards, and unless you're really OCD, you probably didn't get the name, email address, and phone number of everybody you handed a business card out to, and you didn't put them into a database. Is there anybody in the room who doesn't know what to do with a 5,000 person contact database in order to grow your business? Anybody in here is like, I don't know what I would do with 5,000 names, email addresses, and phone numbers? No? One person, two people. So the bottom line is, if you have 5,000 names, email addresses, and phone numbers of people that you got their permission to take their data, most of you would know how to market to that, how to do a contact email campaign, or how to do a phone outreach campaign, or whatever it is. So it's valuable as you move through your career. Instead of handing out your cards and not getting anything in exchange, you can hand out your card and build a database. In Savvycard, every time your card is shared, and I'll demo this, it's going to capture the name, email address, phone number of those people so that you're creating an opt-in database that you can use for marketing purposes in the future. Okay? It self-optimizes for Google rankings. So what's the most important thing in for a realtor in terms of their brand? Like, what's your number one brand asset?
That's you.
Like, if you're marketing yourself, what's the number one thing you're marketing?
Your brand.
Your name. Who said name? There you go. Your name, right? Is there anybody in the room who wouldn't want everybody in your farm area to know you by name? Right? That's the holy grail, okay? In Snell Isle, which is a little waterfront community near St. Petersburg where we live, there's a realtor named Bonnie Strickland. And every single person in Snell Isle, all multi-million-dollar waterfront properties, every single person in Snell Isle knows that Bonnie Strickland is the Snell Isle realtor. They know her by name, okay? That's the holy grail, okay? So when people search for you by name on Google, anybody got an idea about what comes up first? What do you think? Ads. Okay, ads, yes. They're selling advertising against your name. That's true. What website comes up most? For Zillow. The number one result for when you search on a realtor's name is that a profile, your profile, comes up, but it's Zillow who's serving that, okay? So when somebody searches for you by name and goes to Zillow, Zillow calls you up and says, we've got a free lead for you, right? They hand that over to you for free, right? No? No, they don't. Don't you think it's sort of funny that your name generates a lead through Google, Zillow gets it, and then sells it back to you at a premium, or worse, sells it to a competitor? Right? Okay. So is it valuable for you to own your name on Google, is what I'm asking. And I think the answer is yes. So if you guys do a search, and feel free to do this now or during a break, I want you to take my name down, David Etheredge, Etheredge, Etheredgep. And I want you to just Google my name. And depending on the day, my Savvycard comes up number 1 or number 2. I'm in a fight with LinkedIn to control my brand, okay? But I think today, in this room, it's coming up number 1. Now, how did I get there? Did I pay some search engine optimization company thousands of dollars to optimize my Savvycard? No. I got there by just using my card. The more I use my card, higher it ranks in Google. Why is that? Google has changed their algorithm recently, where they now are looking at it and saying, if people click on a website, if they engage with the website when they go there, they must be getting value out of it, right? And so the more a web page gets used, the higher they rank it in Google. So there are tricks, and one of the courses on Savvy School is how to search engine optimize your Savvycard for your name. There are tricks that you can use that are very, very simple. So how many of you are married? Okay? You can share your Savvycard to your husband or wife. They'll put it on the home screen of their phone, and when they call you, instead of going phone, address book, your name, which takes 3 steps, they just click your face and hit call, which is 2 steps. All right? How often does your husband call you a day? Not very often. Not enough, right? 3 times? Once a day. Okay. That means you're going to get 365 engagements that Google sees that looks like somebody is calling you through your website. Okay? So what I suggest, so in your case, if you want to increase the number of people that are calling you through your card, if there are any bill collectors trying to get a hold of you, you can just say, can I share my Savvycard to you so that when you call me 4 times a day, you're helping me with my SEO for my name, okay? So bottom line is, you can, has anybody ever done business with a search engine optimization company before? Well, it was fun, right? And you totally understood what they were doing. It was all transparent. No, it's horrible, right? And they charge you a lot of money, and it's like, right? What are you going to do for me? Well, it's too complex to explain to you. That's not what I want to hear when I buy a product, right? So this doesn't cost you anything other than time to make sure that it's getting used, right? And if you use it, the more you use it, the higher it ranks, and then you'll start getting phone calls from people who search for you by name and click on your Savvycard and hit the call button, right? And notice, there's no Savvycard branding anywhere on here. We are not leveraging your name. It's down below the fold, it says powered by Savvycard, but we're not leveraging your name to sell advertising like LinkedIn does, like Facebook does, like Zillow does, like Realtor.com does, like all those other people do. So Savvycard's a tool that'll help you take control of your name, which is your most powerful brand asset on Google search. Somebody had a question.
I presently have my Google business page through HomeStamp. It's managed through them. Does that have an impact with respect to what we're talking about?
So you can link them together, and both of them can benefit, right? And here's the funny thing. I had a realtor in class last week, and he said, well, I already have my name, number 1 on my name. I've got my website. I know search engine optimization. I'm like, let's look. He was number 1. Number 2 was Zillow. I was like, wouldn't you want to have number 1 and number 2? Right? Everything you can do to push those other companies that are leveraging your name down is beneficial to you, okay? So if you can get number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, right, do it. And this doesn't cost you anything, okay? So that's SEO. And then the last one, branded email signature is sort of a placeholder, because there's a bunch of additional tools, such as branded email signature. We automatically create a QR code for your Savvycard, right? There's all kinds of ways that you can use this to integrate with your existing marketing, okay? So it's an instant customer engagement tool. And I'm going to quickly just flip through the buttons so that you guys can see what buttons are on the card. Did you have a question?
No.
Oh, I saw somebody's hand go up. It's like an auctioneer. I see hands go up and I'm like, sold, right? So, all right, so here are the buttons. Call, that's pretty obvious. Email, and text, which lets people call, email, or text you from your card, okay? Then we've got share, which is the most important button on a Savvy card. This allows you to share the card to an individual by text or by email, and it allows you to share the card to social media by just pressing a button. And I'm going to show you, share in text uses share to individual, and seller share uses share to social. So you're going to see two courses where I show you how to use this button, okay? Then we've got the listings button. The listings button has two tabs. The first one is featured listings, which is a tab of all of your listings. So who in here has listings right now? Okay, so when you open your Savvy card, your property listings are going to be shown under featured listings. And if you touch this tile, it's going to open the property Savvy card for that listing so that you can then use it to market the listing, okay? If you don't have a listing, the tab disappears. So you don't have a situation where you open, or somebody looks at it and goes, featured listings, you have none. You must be a bad realtor, right? No, I just don't have a listing right now. So it disappears. Find Homes is a full IDX search, and I'll show you this on a different slide later. But it's an IDX search that allows you to just search any inventory in the MLS. So if you want to find, like we did this earlier, I think we did a search, geolocation search before the class started to see what was for sale in the neighborhood here. It was pretty easy, right? So you guys have a full search on your card right now, okay? Yes?
On the featured listings, you can borrow somebody else's.
You can't. So I don't want to talk about our paid upgrades in this course, but we have a paid upgrade for brokerages, okay? So we have a brokerage class this afternoon at 1 o'clock, and if any of you guys would like to invite your brokers in, I'll talk a little bit about this feature. But what it allows you to do is it allows the brokerage to purchase something called dynamic co-marketing, which allows any realtor within the brokerage to get the property Savvy card for any other realtor in the brokerage and market it. And it's a great tool for like new realtors who want to do an open house for an established realtor, so they can go to the open house and they can pull the Savvy card for that open house and then share it to people. And when they do, it dynamically attaches their information to the listing. So it allows a realtor who's primarily a listing agent to basically share that property to all the other agents within the brokerage so that they can go market that listing on social media for them. And high-performing listing agents understand that if you can walk into a listing appointment and say, I have 10 or 20 or 100 realtors who are in my firm, and they're all going to be marketing your listing on social media if you list with me, that's a powerful competitive advantage in a listing appointment. So if you'd like to, at the end of this class, I'm going to ask you to fill out a survey. And at the bottom of the survey, there's a place where you can request more information on products and just check if you'd like more information on Savvy card for brokerages, and we'll follow up with you. Okay? All right. So this button, ORDS, is going to go away. This used to be a button for you to put your brokerage and the name of your business. We have a new button coming out in a couple of weeks called About. And About allows you to put in a video and a description for yourself, and allows your brokerage to put in a video and a description for the brokerage, right? So we're combining two buttons together that allow you to put video in there. So if somebody wants to learn about who you are and why they should do business, they can watch your video inside your site. Find turn-by-turn directions to your place of business. So if somebody has your card and they need to drop by your office to sign some paperwork or something, then they just hit this button and it gives them turn-by-turn directions. On the back of the card, we have social, which allows you to link up your social media accounts. We have Recommend, which is a really cool button, and we have a course on Savvy School that teaches you how to use this button called Referral Team. And the way that you use this button, if you guys remember, I talked about the lady in Florida who has a friend who sells Mercedes. So what they've done is, the realtor in Florida, has linked up the Savvy card for the Mercedes-Benz dealer in her Recommend button. And when she shares her card to people, or when she meets somebody that she knows might be interested in buying a car, she can just open her card and get to her friend and share her card and refer them in real time, right? So this is a course that we teach on Savvy School. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it here, but it's called Referral Team, and it allows you to build your own little personal B&I, really. Question?
Is this something that's coming because mine doesn't have the same button in the back?
Okay, so these buttons, social, recommend, and so forth, you have to populate them with information. So your call, email, and text button were populated by data from the MLS, but we don't know who your referral partners are, so we can't put them into the card. So one of the things that you can do is when you log into your account, and I recommend you do this on a desktop, when you log into your account, there's a link that says edit this card, and when you click on that, it puts you in Card Builder, which is a tool that allows you to add information like your social media accounts and so forth. And really important, if you guys have questions about anything, and I'll show you a slide in a minute where you'll have the phone number and email address. So if you have questions about anything about Savvycard, we have live customer support based in the United States. It's East Coast, so if you want to get up at 6 a.m., grab a coffee and give them a call before you get started with your work day, then we have, our hours are 9 a.m. Eastern Standard to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, okay? 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. So 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific, okay? But any question you have about how to use your card or edit it or anything else, you can contact our customer support team and they will help you, right? All right. There's one other button that's not on Jenny's card that I want to demo for you guys, because it's probably my favorite button. So I'm going to go look for a realtor, Tom Scaglione. So Tom is a realtor in Tampa. There we go. So this is Tom's card, and he's turned on a button called My Sites. And My Sites is in the upper right-hand corner. Do you guys see that? When I click on it, he's loaded in all the tools and information he wants to share with his customers. So, starting from the top, he's linked in a live MLS search tool that he prefers to our IDX. So it's right in the top of his My Sites. He's got a buying a home step-by-step guide. He's got a send me listings fill-in form, a seller's marketing plan that works. He's got a My Home is Worth fill-in form. He's got client testimonials, my role helping buyers and sellers, $1 million home listings, waterfront home listings, investor home listings, my website. Okay? And I think he's gone a little overboard in My Sites. My Sites button, I just have 4 things. Okay? I have information on our 2 products, Savvycard for Real Estate and Savvycard for Brokerages, a podcast I did with Greg Robertson of Vendor Alley talking about our launch with CRMLS, and then I've got a link for you to schedule an appointment with me through my calendar application. So this is customizable. You can basically build any information that you want. And when I show you share and text, I'm going to talk about how do you create value for a person that you just met. One of the ways you do it is you listen, right? Any of you guys ever seen the graphic, which I wish I had in my slide presentation, it's a sales graphic, and it shows this little, like, Indian fox. It's a little tiny fox, and its ears are like twice the size of its body. And then it shows an alligator with its mouth open. And it's like, if you want to be good at sales, you want to be this toy fox, big ears, small mouth, and not this alligator, which is tiny ears, big mouth, right? Listen. You want to listen to your customers and talk less, okay? And so what we're going to teach is, you're listening to a customer and they say something that's a trigger, right? They're questioning the home valuation they got from Zillow. You need to be prepared, like Tom is, to say, let me share my Savvycard to you. It has a home valuation form linked into it, and it's accurate. It comes from MLS data. So you'll be able to get an accurate valuation on your home. You need to be prepared to pounce. We've seen the pictures of those foxes or coyotes in the snow that like pounce into the hole to go get a rabbit. So when somebody says something and you're like, I've got an answer for that, I've got a tool for that, you want to be able to say, let me create value for you right now. And this is one of the best ways to do it, by putting the tools that you know are valuable to prospective customers on your Savvycard, so that you can immediately say, let me share this to you, it's got the tool that you need. Okay? All right, so let me get back to my presentation, and I dislike the fact that Google Documents makes it hard to do this. So while I'm getting back into this, does anybody have any questions about agent cards?
Does the directions to your office come automatically from the information you have in the MLS?
It does. So this is a good question, okay? In the MLS, you've got data fields. We pull the data fields to populate your Savvycard. So for things that are MLS driven, call, email, I think text you can put in yourself, but call, email, office location, and so forth, those are being pulled from the MLS. We had a realtor last week in San Diego who the number he had in the MLS was going to his broker's phones, and he didn't even know it. So when he opened up his Savvycard to hit call, it called his brokerage. He just had to go back to the MLS and get him to change that field, swap out phone number 1 and phone number 2 and swap. Okay.
And is that a feature, the drive to the office with directions, is that an automatic feature, or is that
Yes.
something you?
It's automatically turned on.
You can turn off?
Can you turn off that
So
button?
every button on the card, with the exception of share and listings, can be turned on or off, right? So I have some realtors who are like, I only want people to email me. I'm too busy, I can't take phone calls, I don't want people texting me, but if they're interested, I want them to email me. Because I've set my email so it goes to my assistant, all right? Yes?
So you're saying that we cannot edit the office number ourselves, we have to call the MLS directly or contact them directly?
Well, it depends on your MLS, but most of the MLSs I'm aware of, I think that they have, you can log into the MLS and make those modifications yourself. But if you guys have to call them, yeah, if you have if your number, whatever the process is for you to change information in the MLS, you have to follow that process. Yes?
To upload our picture.
I'm gonna get to that, okay? All right.
One quick one.
Yes.
In the share feature, okay, I meet you, we have a good conversation. You agree for me to send my information for this, right?
I'm going to cover this in sharing text in the course that I'm going to teach you how to use share as a part of that exchange.
Okay.
Okay? So let's jump into a quick overview of property Savvycards, and then I'm going to help you guys get your cards on all your phones. Okay? So property Savvycards. Whenever somebody first sees Savvycard, they say, oh, it's a digital business card. Then they see property Savvycards, they're like, well, that's not a digital business card, that's something totally different. So it's like a single listing website for each of your property listings. Anybody ever pay for single listing websites for property listings before? I see one hand going up, one hand over there. So now you don't have to. OCR is providing this at no cost. Every time you get a listing, you're going to get a cloud application automatically created for this. How do you know about it? You're going to get an email that's going to tell you that the card has been created with instructions on how to start marketing it. And I'll show you a copy of that email in a minute. It includes push-button simple posting to social media: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest. People always ask me about Instagram. Instagram doesn't have an API for posting pictures with links in them, okay? So we don't currently support that until they change it where you can link a picture to an external link. But all the other major social media platforms are a part of the share button. So what a realtor will do is they'll get a new listing, and then they'll just press the share button and post it to Facebook, to LinkedIn, and if they're active on Twitter, they'll post it to Twitter, and they'll type in a message: new hot house, just hit the market, it's going to be gone tomorrow. Click to learn more and contact me.
What
Okay?
about Facebook rules and regulations? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do they allow that?
Yeah. So we're a Facebook advertising partner. We not only does our system work with Facebook, but we also have Facebook advertising products. So we're partners with Facebook. So I hope. So the last thing down here is we create specific tools to help you market your home in ways you might not be marketing it today. And there's several of these, but I'm going to talk to you today about seller share, which is going to let you leverage the relationships that your home seller has with their friends, their family, their neighbors, and their coworkers to get you visibility in their social sphere of influence, okay? And how much does this cost? Zero. This is not something we're going to have to go spend a bunch of money. You're going to actually leverage crowd marketing for free to do this. And seller share is the last class that I'll teach today. It'll be the last 15 minutes of the presentation. And I'm going to teach even realtors with no listings how to use seller share to win listings, okay? All right, quickly going through the property card. This is much quicker because a lot of the buttons are duplicate. The most important button on a property card to the realtor is the contact agent button, which allows anybody that's looking at this property and wants more information to call, text, or email you. Okay? So if you change your information, this is one of the other questions I get. Let's say you change your email address in the MLS, and somebody has the property card or your agent card, it automatically propagates to them. Right? So I know the brokers in the room don't want to hear this, but if you move brokerages, which people often do, and you change contact information, people are still going to be able to get a hold of you, okay? So next button, well, before we go on to the next button, at the bottom of every Property Savvy card is a mini card. And the mini card links back to your agent card. So this is important because I'm going to tell you should be promoting your properties on social media independent of yourself. You should be pushing every listing that you get out to digital channels because people like to look at photos of new homes. And when they do, they are going to see your picture, right? Anybody here like putting real estate signs with your picture in the front yard of your homes? Like all of you like that, I think, probably. This is like putting your picture on the social media real estate sign in the home, okay? The next button is features, which is all of the amenities, property details, and features from the MLS, okay? I wish I could scroll down because this just has a big block of remarks, but it has all the square footage and everything else. So all of the details in the MLS are displayed here in the features button. And at the bottom of all of these buttons are calls to action, like schedule a showing or ask a question, and any leads that are generated off that come back to you as the listing agent. Find button, turn-by-turn directions to the office, or to, I mean, not to the office, to the property, so that if you've got somebody who wants to go look at one of the properties, you can share it to them and tell them just hit the find button and it'll take them right there. Photos, this pulls all the photos off the MLS into a mobile-friendly directory that people can view from the card. 95% of all the interactions that we have on Property Savvy cards are people just looking at photos. That's what people want to do. They want to look at the photos on the homes. Share, I've already talked about share, and I'm going to demo how you use the share button later to share to Facebook with Seller Share, okay? But you can share an individual property card by text or by email to an individual that you meet, or you can share it to social media accounts, just like you can do your agent card. Listings. If somebody finds your Property Savvy card on a social media post, and they go, this isn't the right home for me, we don't want them to leave. We want them to go, I wonder what's under listings, and click on this and see your other listings, or search IDX and find other properties. So this is a way for them to continue to engage with real estate content if they come to your Property Savvy card through an advertisement or a post that you make.
So if they click on this listing, and then
Yeah, it's just going to show find homes. So that featured listings tab will go away. It will disappear. Because we don't want people going, oh, featured listings, none, right? So they'll just see this. And if you open your own Savvy card and go to the listings button, you can scroll this up and see that it allows you, it's very simple, mobile-friendly interface for you to find properties for sale. Really important to note, this is not meant to replace your Kelly app or your HomeSnap app or any of those things. Those are very sophisticated, fully featured tools that include polygon map draws and all of this stuff. That's for later when you've built a relationship with somebody and you say, let me give you some more powerful tools, okay? But you can't start there. And this is simple. Like at the beginning of the class, I mentioned this earlier, we brought up your card and we looked for all of the real estate within a geo radius of a couple of miles around where we are right now. And it took a couple of seconds to do. It was easy. So you show your customers how when they're driving around, they go, this is a cute neighborhood, I wonder what's for sale. Touch your face, hit listings, search by geography. Done. Okay? Schools button. Great Schools provides this information. So when somebody looks at the Property Savvy card, they can open this up and see what are the closest schools, what are their ratings. They can click on more info and get to Great Schools and get more information on the property. So how do you know that a Property Savvy card has been created for your listing? You're going to get this property notification email. Okay? Now, this is important. Anytime a realtor gets a new listing, you guys get inundated with emails, right? From people trying to sell you stuff, okay? Tours, videos, marketing, all that kind of stuff. So what ends up happening is oftentimes, if you're not familiar with SavvyCard, this email comes into your inbox and you ignore it because you think it's somebody trying to sell you a product. This email and other emails from SavvyCard, we will never send you an email trying to sell you anything unless you've requested information on one of our products. If you're getting an email, you're getting it because it's a part of the free product that you've got. So this email is just telling you, we created the Property Savvy card for your new listing. And here's how you start marketing it right now from this email. So I had a realtor in my class yesterday in the other Orange County office who got a listing, got the notification email in the class, pressed this button, shared it to the home seller, scrolled down, pressed, shared to LinkedIn and shared to Facebook, and marketed it in less than a minute while he was in the class, taking the class on how to use the product. Okay? It's easy. It's designed to be simple. Okay? All right. So the other way that you can get to a property Savvycard is through the listings button on your card. So you click on the listings button, and then if you've got a listing, it should show up under featured listings. And each of these is called a tile. Okay? You're going to see a tile for each of your property listings, and you just touch the tile, or click on it if you're on a desktop, and it opens the property card for that listing so that you can use it for marketing purposes. Okay? And the third way that you can get to your property Savvycards is just log into your dashboard on savvycard.com, and you'll have a tile for your agent card and for every one of your listings. Okay? So this is the tile for a property card. You can view the card, you can share the card, you can share it to the home seller, you can send it to a mobile device, you can download a QR code so that you can link this property into print marketing, or you can look at card analytics. How many people have visited this property card, right? So this is where I recommend that you start unless you're pretty handy with a smartphone. Go and play around with Savvycard on a desktop and interact with your property cards and your agent card here. You can also see with your agent card, it's got another feature, another button that says edit this card, and that's how you go in and make modifications to your card, like adding the My Sites button or the social button. Okay? All right. Let me wrap up this section, and then I'm going to walk you through getting your Savvycard on your phone. But let me wrap up by reinforcing sort of the main message of the orientation, which is, why do you care about Savvycard? Like, you guys have more tools than any other industry I'm aware of, right? You get more tools in technology. You are oversaturated with technology and tools. It is really important for you to be able to distinguish between the tools that are going to be effective and the tools that are going to waste your time, okay? So, I don't want to waste your time. So what I'm going to tell you is this. When salespeople are surveyed about the hardest part of their job, 42% of them say prospecting is the hardest thing that they do. There are not a lot of tools in the real estate marketplace that improve the prospecting process. I'm going to show you how Savvycard fixes 2 prospecting scenarios in the next 2 courses. I think your HomeSnap or Kelly app fits here. I think it's a great tool for qualifying people because you get them to download it, and as they're looking at the properties and stuff, you're beginning to figure out, are these guys serious? What are they looking at? What's their price range, right? And in those apps, you have tools for them to put in their pre-approval numbers and other things like that. And for closing, because you provide them a tool like your HomeSnap application, and they start using it, and it increases the likelihood that they're actually going to close business with you. Savvycard's a prospecting tool. It helps with Kelly. It helps with HomeSnap. Now, how do you integrate the 2 together? On your My Sites button, you can place a link for people to go download your other applications, right? So you start the conversation with, let me share something of value to you right now, and I'm not going to make you do any work. And then once you've followed up with them and built a relationship with them, you say, hey, download my app off of my Savvycard. It's right there. Make sense? Okay. All right. So, several of you went through this process before, and I'm going to tell you at the end of this course, if you're having trouble, I'm going to be around from 11 until our course at 1 o'clock. If you'd like to stay around, I'm happy to help you with your card if you have a challenge. But I had several people walk into the class, they already had their card on their phone, so hopefully this is a simple process. What you're going to do is you're going to go to savvycard.com. You're going to go to this URL using your browser. If you're on an iPhone, use Safari. If you're on an Android, use Google Chrome, okay? And you just go to savvycard.com. When you do, you're going to see this web page, and there's a button that says menu. You just press menu, and this is the menu that's going to open up. And they changed this up on me, my team. It used to say claim your account, but a couple weeks ago they changed this to say get Savvycard. So at the bottom of the menu, you just see the words get Savvycard. Touch that. And it's going to open up a little dialog where you can put in your email address, and that's going to walk you through the process of setting a password and getting your Savvycard onto your phone. Okay? Anybody got a question?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm waiting
So this is a good time if you need to.
Now remember, Savvy is Savvycard is spelled with two V's.
It's a good 5-minute period to do that. Yes, question.
I'm not getting that same screen on mine.
I'm happy to come around and help people real quick. So. Yeah, I think so. You're already in. Hit My Savvycards at the top. You're already logged in. There's your card. It's already customized.
About 10 o'clock?
View this card. What?
About 10?
Perfect.
You said what time?
Now hit this little square at the
Oh,
bottom.
it's because you and I aren't agents yet.
So
Touch copy and drag it up.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
press
that's why it
and
says
drag.
that you're not a recognized email.
Drag up.
So because you and I are board staff.
Okay,
Right.
add to home screen right there.
So
okay, so
And
just,
then add
okay.
the-
But what
I thought we could choose I manage a real estate member organization.
this is all paid. Because you're not a recognized member, they'll want you to pay for it. But we can talk to their account
Okay.
and they'll get us a free account.
Cool.
I don't have my picture yet, but I can still just save it right now, right?
Yeah, I ran into that problem yesterday.
Yeah, we'll definitely need that to troubleshoot.
Yeah. But it's a simple process.
But it needs to be your.
I don't have access to
Guys, if you're
my
putting in
wife's
your email
email,
address, it
or else
must
I'd
be
set
your
up her
MLS
card.
email
but-
address. It must be the MLS email address, not like your personal email address. Okay? Otherwise, we can't find your account. Yes. I'm going to do that right next. I'm going to walk you through that. It's automatically on all of It's so this is your agent card. Okay, so hit view this card. So you're using the mobile.
I'm like, you know, the bed's like, hey.
There you go. Hit view this card.
Program.
Have you already put it on your home screen? Okay, we're good then. Yeah, so when you get a new listing, a property card, it'll automatically have the schools button on it. And you can't put schools on your agent card, right? So it only goes on your
Okay, so I can do that.
How do you? So hit listings. Do you have any property listings? You don't. So the schools button is going to automatically go on any property card that, like when you get a listing, it'll automatically go on that listing card, not on your agent card. Make sense? You had a question? Okay, so guys, I'm going to talk you through how you get your picture on your card in just a minute, all right? So the first thing we're trying to do is just get you through the process of claiming your card, and then I'm going to show you how to put your card on your home screen of your phone or your iPad, and then finally I'm going to tell you how to get your photo and your background on your card. We're going to do those things in sequence. So if you're a little bit ahead of us and you're already ready for a photo, just give me a couple minutes and we'll get there. Here, let's do this. I'll get that X right here. All right. So hit this square with the arrow on the bottom of the screen, right there, and then touch copy and drag it up. Press and drag. Okay. Add home screen right. Okay. And then hit add network. And then there it is on console. Easy peasy. I like this lady. You're my favorite person. You're in the front row, and you're telling me that my product is So guys, I'm not going to send you the slides, but all the slides are on Savvy School. So if you go to Savvy School, savvycard.com/Savvy School, the URL I gave you earlier, this is called orientation, and you can go through all the slides on the orientation. So let me get the pictures in just a minute. I'm going to do this.
What's your...
So it may not be on there yet. It may but or you don't see it.
This is supposed to go till what, 11?
So Nas had a really interesting question that I just wanted to share with everybody. She got a new rental listing yesterday. She put it on the MLS, and she's she's asking, does she need to do something to get it on her card? The answer is no. It'll automatically create a property card and put it on your listing button. It may just take a little while. It may take 12 hours or 16 hours before it appears, okay? Sometimes it's less than an hour, okay? Sign up sheet. Okay, guys, another thing. If you go to the Savvycard for Business page, it's going to ask you to buy Savvycard for Business. You're on the Savvycard for Business page, you want to stay on the Savvycard for Real Estate page. So, okay, go back. No worries. So, have you already gotten your card? Have you already put in
Oh, did you just put your number twice for
People working on their cards.
I just deleted it. Oh, I had to put them in.
That was great.
I'll tell you what, call customer support or stay there for 5 minutes after the class and I'll walk.
I don't even have to.
Yeah, we'll get it sorted out. Yes. Yeah, you're on the second from the business page. Right, yeah, and you so have you found that really helpful? Okay, guys, if you're not getting the email, I've had 2 people with this problem this morning. Check your spam folder. Because you may have sent your spam with high, high security level, and if that's the case, then it may go into your spam folder. If for some reason you still can't find your Savvycard email, I can't help you in the class. Call customer support, and they will help you get this sorted out. Okay? Yeah, so if that's the case, he's probably going to send it to your spam folder in the future. So what I would do is call customer support and they'll get you sorted out. All right, I'm going to move. I'm going to answer this lady's question, then I'm going to move to the next section. So actually, do that again, what you just did.
Does anybody have the sign-in sheet?
Touch and drag this up.
Yeah.
Is it an iPhone?
It's over there.
You just go Chrome.
Do you need it? Yep, it never made it to this side of this room.
Okay, Chrome, Apple, and Google don't like to play nice with each other, so they don't allow the sheet. Okay, guys, we're going to move on. We're going to move on. Yes. So they'll call you. They're going to either call you or email you with to follow up to make sure that your card is working correctly. So you should get a contact from them.
The password for the Wi-Fi?
All right. All right. So
Listings. LISTINGS, all lowercase.
Based on your home screen. Now, many of you have already done this, and I'm not going to go through this with each individual person to get it on your phone, but it's fairly easy to do. But if you have any trouble at all, call support, and support will help you get this done. So you either have an iPhone or you've got an Android, and there's a little bit different process. One of the things that I like about what we've done with Jenny's Savvycard here, is we've not just put it on the home screen, they've actually put it into her featured apps bar at the bottom. Okay, I use my Savvycard almost every day, right? So I've got it down here in this bar, which means it's always right there next to my phone and the other tools that I use every day. The way that you add the app to the home screen of your phone is if you're on an iPhone, you're going to see this little square. It's called the Apple Share icon. Okay? You touch that square, and it's going to pop up a menu, right? You're going to see a gray menu that's going to pop up. And you touch that menu and drag it. Like you press and drag the menu up, and you'll see add to home screen. And you just select that and it'll put it on your home screen. Okay? I'm sorry. Yeah. So you see the little icon at the bottom, the little square with the arrow coming out? Hit that and touch and drag this up. Touch the menu and drag it up. Yeah, keep dragging. Add to home screen is right there. Okay? So you're going to slide that bar up and select add to home screen. And I'll tell you what, if you're having trouble with this, ask one of your neighbors if they were able to do it, and somebody can help you with it. Or stay at the end of the class and I'll help you. Okay? Once you've learned how to do this once, it's easy to do it again and again and again. Same thing is true with Android. Android's actually a little easier. Your Savvycard on an Android, you're going to see 3 little buttons, 3 little dots. You touch those 3 dots, and it opens a menu that says add to home screen. Got it? Everybody got that? Okay. All right. Then I'm going to move on to this slide, and then we'll wrap up this section of the presentation. So some frequently asked questions. The first one is, I entered my email address but haven't received the email. We've got a couple of people with this problem. Check your spam folder. If you can't find it in your spam folder, call customer support at this number, and they will help you sort out your problem. Okay? Question number 2, how do I add my photo? This is the number 1 question, right? How do I add my photo? You email your photo to support@savvycard.com. Now, why do we not just give you a tool so you can do it yourself? I don't know many realtors who are graphic designers, okay? And so we're doing this for free for you because I have graphic designers who are going to cut out your photo and make it look great, as good as we can make it. So you don't have to do the work, right? So you just have to email the photo to them. When you email your photo in, if your background has the generic CRMLS or Orange County background, and you want them to put in a brokerage background, a customized brokerage, you just tell them, please customize my card. Here's my photo, please customize my card. Okay? Now, why didn't we go ahead and customize it for everybody? Because there's 15,000 agents in Orange County. We're not going to customize cards for people who aren't going to use them, right? So you have to ask. The only work we ask you to do is to send an email saying, please customize my card, so that we know that you're actually looking to use the product, and then we'll do this for you. We'll do it for free.
What's your default background?
Default background says it says proud member Orange County, Realtors.
CRMLS.
Or CRMLS. Yeah, one of the two. Okay. The next question is, how do I change info on the card, like the telephone number or my name? Okay. For information that we pull from the MLS, like telephone number and name, you have to change it in the MLS, and it'll automatically change on your phone.
If you change it on here, it won't change.
So if you change it on there using the editing, the next time we pull data, we're going to override it. Okay? You have to change it on the MLS, otherwise we get people with different information on their card from the MLS, and that causes problems. Okay?
Question.
Yes.
Changing it with MLS, meaning that when you are putting a listing, you put your number correctly, the one you want, or change it with MLS, calling MLS, compliances, and ask them to change my number.
So we have Tony here from Orange County.
Hey, Tony.
Tony may be able to help you guys. The question is, how do I change my phone number or my name on the MLS? Right?
Okay, so your name change in the MLS has to be done here at the board, right? So if you got married, you got divorced, you're going back to your original name, or you're taking on your married name, it's got to be changed on your DRE license, right? You change on your DRE license, you notify the board then updates your records, which now filter out to MLS, CAR, NAR, so on and so forth. Now, as for your numbers, right, like your cell phone number and things like that, go into the MLS, go under Add Edit. Under Add Edit, underneath where it says Listings, go to Roster and put in your user ID for the MLS. When you go under the Roster section to modify your MLS user ID, there will be a choice that says Change Contact Information. There, make sure that your entire profile information is filled in correctly, like cell number, voicemail number, things like that. And then off to the right will say your preferred contact order. Cell number, email, so on and so forth. If you choose a choice to the right, make sure it's filled in on the left, and then hit submit. Once you do that, that should change your Savvycard and update your MLS data information. Now, we ask that you also notify us here at the board because whatever you change in the MLS does not backdate or backfill into the board. The only thing that you cannot change is your office phone number. The office phone number is what the broker has designated for the entire office. Now, unless you're the office broker, you cannot change the phone number. But you can say, in my profile, I don't want the office phone number to be contacted first. I want my information to be first. And that's what Savvycard is going to look at. So make sure your profile information is filled in correctly on the MLS.
Yeah, that
okay?
was the problem that we had thank you, Tony. That was
You're welcome.
The problem that we had the other day with the gentleman in San Diego. He had his primary contact number set to the brokerage office and didn't know it, okay? So all of this stuff can be modified there. If you have questions about how to modify your MLS data, Tony can help you, or other people at the association can help you. The other data, like your My Sites button or your social media button, you're going to log into your Savvycard account, preferably on a desktop or laptop, and click on Edit This Card next to your agent card, and that's going to help you modify it, okay? And then the last question, we've already sort of covered this. How do I customize my background? And I like to explain this a little bit, okay? Some of you already have customized backgrounds. Some of you don't. The ones who do are with large brokerages with dozens or hundreds of agents. And the reason that we start by customizing the large brokerages first is we can do one background for 1,000 people, right? If you're a small brokerage with one person and you're not going to use the product, we don't want to waste a couple $100 in customization fees on our side and work that we're going to do for somebody who's not going to use the product. So if you're a small brokerage, all you have to do is contact customer support and just say, I'd like to customize my background. That's it. Okay? Any other questions before we move on to the fun part, which is how to make money using your Savvycard? Yes?
If you don't customize, what's gonna be the background?
So it's going to, well, you've already got a customized one, right?
I don't know.
Yours has your brokerage.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What if
Can I show this to people? This is a customized card. So her brokerage Home Smart already has, we have already customized it, right? So does anybody have a generic background? Does anybody have the Orange County background? So that's what it looks like. If you don't have a customized background, it has a little logo that says, what does it say? It says Orange County Realtors. Yeah, Orange County Realtors on it. At the top of the card, it has the name of your brokerage, and then below that, it has your name.
So,
can you, everybody, I'm sorry, you're my favorite person again. So your name is Sherry. So Sherry, this is her brokerage. And she says, this is a gorgeous looking card. Well, when you get your photo on it, it'll be even better looking, right? Okay? No, for you it will be. I mean, not for this guy here, but for the rest of you.
I have no hope. Yeah, if you're focused on branding yourself, so I have my brokerage, but I have my own site as well, my own kind of name and logo and all that jazz. So if I submit to support and I say, hey, I want to customize this, but I want to direct them to kind of the theme of the site I will have up in my logo rather than brokerage.
Okay, so this is a really interesting question because I get teams, for example, who are like, I have my own branding as a team. So here's the unfortunate part. Orange County and CRMLS has paid for the brokerage customization. So if you want a personal customization that deviates from that, then what you're going to need to do is buy that customization package, okay? And I think it's $99, okay? But if you're getting your own personalized brand and you've got a team, let's say you have a team of 5, you can just split the cost $20 each because you're getting one background for all 5 of them. Okay? Yes.
they just got to make sure that they're in compliance with DRE regulations. So if you're not your own broker and you're trying to give this impression that you're your own brokerage and you're not a broker, you can get in trouble. So that's why the brokerage information, or at least their logo for the background, is defaulted because you are agents of that brokerage.
Right.
So it just saves you $2,500 a fine by DRE. Just so you know.
Let me show you guys a solution that we built into the system for exactly this. This is Platinum Group Realtors, which is a brokerage, one of the top brokerages in the nation in terms of volume per agent. And Platinum Group is in Colorado Springs. In the upper right-hand corner, you see his team logo. Okay? So this is branded for Platinum Group, but we can incorporate a team logo into the brokerage branding, right? Because lots of people have teams, and they, like every single realtor at Platinum Group, all 65 of them are a part of a team. And so every one of their cards has a team logo in the upper right-hand corner. Now the only thing I would say is you want to make sure that you run that design past your broker so that you make sure that there's no, we don't want to create any kerfuffles, right? So that's.
But to do that right there, that would be an additional charge.
Yeah. Now if you're just adding a team logo to the customization in the background, we're not going to charge for that. But if you're getting my team to go in and design a whole new thing, here's the reality. You're going to probably be art directing these guys. Can you do this? Can you do that? And it's quite a bit of work. With a broker, we're just taking their branding that's already on the web and translating it into their Savvycard. So we don't have to interact with the broker and go through all this work to make sure that we're following their design guide.
Makes sense.
Yes?
I just want to let everyone know, because we're small brokers, we're team, Ria, that I work with, and when I sent my picture in, they pulled up from their website. So it doesn't mean you can't have a custom background even if you're small group.
Everybody gets it. If you're a one-person brokerage, you get a free customized background for your brokerage. Everybody gets it. The only reason that we don't do everybody from the beginning is there's 6,000 brokerages in Orange County, right? And like 4,500 of them have one person or something. So we just want you to ask for your customization, and then we're good to go. Okay?
Quick question about, one of the laws for us are to have our brokerage DRE number.
Yep.
And that's not pulling up on our page. It's not pulling up on mine. Is it pulling up on yours?
Yeah,
You have
state
a license
license
number.
number.
So we have worked with Orange County and Sierra MLS to make sure that we follow the necessary state and local and regulations and the law and the rules of the MLS. If for some reason your card's not showing that,
It shows mine, but we're supposed to have
No.
personal and.
The broker does not have to have their broker's license number. It's an option. But the brokerage name has to be there.
so here's the thing. If you believe that there's something wrong with the way that we're displaying information on your card relative to Orange County regulations or brokerage regulations, that's something to take up with Orange County. Because we just sat down with them and said, what do you want us to do? And they gave us the rules and we followed them. Okay? So, all right, guys.
They're in compliance.
I'm gonna move on to
Not
fun part
the
of the
your number has to be on there, but not necessarily the broker.
As well, on all our signs, all of our cards.
I can show you the DRE regulations after class. It's an option.
That's what Carol Hacker told us too.
Yeah, it's an option. It's preferred, but it's an option.
Okay, guys, I'm going to now show you two courses. Each of these courses is 15 to 20 minutes in length. The second one is actually even shorter than that. But the first one I'm going to share with you is called Share and Text, not Share and Text. I got to get my guys to change that. I think that I've had like PowerPoint gnomes or something going and messing with my slides, because there's a couple of funky things in here I'll show you. But it's called Share and Text. Now this is a trademarked concept that we've developed at Savvycard to deal with the way that business is changing because of technology like mobile phones and how we network with people. What do we do today when we meet a prospect? We hand out a business card. Why? To give them contact information. Well, there's a lot of ways to connect with people. LinkedIn, I mean, there's a ton of ways to do that. The answer that I like is because this is what we've been doing for 100 years, okay? It's sort of what people do. But not a lot of people think about, is this the most effective way to be engaging with a prospect? Well, there's data on this, right? There's a study that some company, some think tank somewhere did that says for every business card that you hand out, it's going to generate 60 cents in future revenue. Okay? Now, I see furrowed brows, right? Because there are people that are like, I hand out business cards and I close sales on them all the time. The reality is that if you meet somebody that you think is a prospect that's ready to do business, they're ready to do business with you right now, you hand out a business card, but then you don't walk away and hope they call. You're like, let's schedule time on the books right now, okay? So handing out the business card is not what generated that business. It's that they are looking for a realtor, you're talking to them, and you're a realtor, and you're able to connect. When you hand out a business card for marketing purposes, you're expecting them to keep the card and then when they need your service later to call you. But what really happens with business cards? So that's my favorite use of a business card too. It's like, you know what, I'm going to get some value out of this because my wife, when I put a ring on her favorite coffee table, she cuts me off from everything. No cooking, no nothing, right? So I just use business cards or pieces of paper or whatever to protect from that. But my favorite thing on this slide is the baby. I didn't notice this until like a couple of months later. That's either a really small baby or a postcard-sized business card, right? Somebody had some problems with like proportions there. So, but anyway, the bottom line is this is true. We're laughing, but this is true, right? When people get a business card, it goes in the garbage, or it goes in a drawer, or it goes in a stack, or it goes in the washer, okay? It's very rare that people take your business card, put it up on a, on a shelf in front of their computer on their desk, and are like, I can't wait until I can call this person to do business with, right? It just doesn't happen, okay? So, what are we doing when we hand out a business card? Okay? So everybody in this room is so good looking that you probably have never had the experience that I had when I was in high school, right? When I was like, there's this girl, I told her I want to go out and sit by the phone hoping that she's going to call me back, right? I have two nieces that are graduating, one's a junior in high school, one's a senior in high school, and both of them are telling me that this guy that they want to ask them to junior, senior prom hasn't called them yet, right? So they're sitting by the phone, crossing their fingers, hoping that they're going to get that call, okay? That's not fun. We don't like that, okay? So why do we do this to ourselves every time we hand out a business card? You hand out a business card, and it's like, I really hope you call me, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. And we're A-type personalities in this room, right? We take control of situations. We know how to work a relationship and close business from it. But in this area, the first interaction we have with most people from a professional perspective, we give up all the control to the prospect. Okay? A realtor in Fresno last year, I was talking to him about this, and he said something that really, really rang true with me. And I was like, that's true. Okay? He said, when somebody asks me for a business card, most of the time I feel like they're saying, I'm done with this conversation. I need to go. And it's a polite way for them to end the conversation. And it's not just ending the conversation, ending the relationship, ending the opportunity. That's what we're really doing here. So the next time somebody says, can I get your business card? I want you to think about, what do they really say? Are they saying, can I get your business card because I can't wait to call you? Or are they saying, can I get your business card because there's a cheeseburger with my name on it, right next door? Because it's easy, right? But when you meet a prospect and you want to build a relationship with them, you're going to share your Savvycard to them. Number two, when you share your Savvycard to somebody, it's going to automatically prompt them to download your contact information into their address book. Anybody understand why that's important? Anybody have a new iPhone? New iPhone? So the new iOS 13, which you definitely have if you have a new iPhone, has a feature in it called Block Unknown Callers.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you open up your settings, and there's a phone. There's a thing under the settings that says phone, and you click on that, and underneath phone, it says Block Unknown Callers. Okay, so we're going to role play here. You and I are at a networking event, you're a realtor, I tell you the new CEO in town, the temporary housing, going to be looking for a home soon. You're like, oh, this is a whale, right? So you give me a business card and I give you my business card. You've got my contact information, you're going to follow up with me. You call me, I have Block Unknown Callers on.
It's silence unknown callers.
I don't even see your phone call. Go straight to voicemail. Unknown number. Right? Is that good? Do we like that? No. We have just reduced the likelihood that I'm going to get into a conversation with this person by, 10x or 20x, right? Because when you go to voicemail, You go in there with all of the robo-dialers and all the spammers and all the advertising that's going straight to voicemail, and you're stuck in there, and they don't know who you are, they don't know why they should look at you. And if you're like me, I may go in there once every 2 weeks and delete all the unknown calls without even listening to them. Right? Does this sound true to you guys? Okay? So Savvycard's going to allow you to get your contact information into their phone while you're standing there next to them, so that when you follow up with them by email, or by phone, or by text, or by email, they recognize your name. What's the most important brand element for a realtor?
Your name.
Your name. So if they recognize your name, you've won half the battle, right? More likely to pick up your call or answer your text message or read your email. Then number 3, yes?
Can they trash us from their system, like all the other apps or all the other?
Well, no, when they go into your address book, I'm not talking about putting your Savvycard on their home screen. I'm talking about just getting into their
I
address
know.
book.
When we send the Savvycard to our prospect, can they,
Delete our
after a couple
contact.
of times, they delete us?
Yes, they can.
Oh.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we want the consumer to be in control of their own data, their own tools, and stuff like that. So, we started with an idea that our business model would be, I'd share my Savvycard to you and put my face in your phone, and then you have to pay to remove it. But that didn't go over very well with the SEC, or the Federal Communications Commission. So anyway, the third thing that you're going to do is you're going to follow up within 1 to 2 days. And that's too long. We have this on the screen, but I actually tell people 5 to 30 minutes. 5 to 30 minutes you're going to follow up. Now there's a trick to following up in 5 to 30 minutes and it not being creepy. Okay? And the trick is you have to follow up by providing value to them in the follow-up. And I'm going to teach you how to do that in a couple of minutes. But these are the 3 steps. This is pretty simple. 3 steps. Share your Savvycard, get in their address book, follow up promptly. Everybody got that?
Yes.
All right, how do you share your Savvycard? You use the 13 magic words. Can I text you my business card and follow up with you later? These words are worth thousands of dollars of revenue to everyone in this room. Why? So let's go back to the situation we were talking about a minute ago, where we're chatting, okay? I'm the high-powered CEO. I've just moved into town. I'm in temporary housing. She knows I'm going to buy a home. I don't know any other realtors. She needs to build a relationship with me as soon as she possibly can, so that when I talk to any other realtors who are also going to be hot to win me as a customer, I'm like, I've already got a friend who's a realtor. We just met at a networking event. How do we go from I just met you to you're my friend? I'm inclined to do business with you, right? The first step is, can I text you my business card and follow up with you later? Because when I say yes and give you my mobile number, you have my mobile number, which is like a bar of gold. Do we get that? Having the mobile number of a prospect is like a bar of gold in Fort Knox. Okay? But more importantly, I've just given you permission to start a conversation with me by text message. Who texts you today? Hey, everybody texts. Who texts you? Who texts you on your phone today? Your nephew. You like your nephew? When you get a text from your nephew, little smile, you get happy?
Oh, he's just asking for something.
Oh, he's asking for money.
Yes.
Who texts you? Your wife.
Friends.
Hopefully that makes you happy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You know, well, we have to say that, right? Yes, it makes us very happy. Okay? Who texts you?
Clients, friends, family.
Clients, friends, family. I'm sort of like yes on the happy scale there, right? Clients like that. Sometimes they have complaints, but if they're texting me, I've got a relationship with them, right? Friends, I like my friends. Family, hopefully I like my family, okay? So when somebody texts you, your response is positive, okay? So let's go back to our role play here. You say to me, can I text my Savvycard to you or my business card to you and follow up with you later? I say yes. How has our relationship started professionally? It started with me saying yes, right? Do you know there's studies that show in retail and any kind of commerce that if you can get a customer to say the word yes, they're more likely to do business with you? Just say the word yes. How's your day today? Are you having a good day? No one's going to say no to somebody they haven't met. So when you go to a store and they ask you how your day is, and they frame it with, are you having a good day? And you say yes, you have just been psychographically manipulated to be positive about the retailer that you're talking to. Make sense? Okay, so can I text you my number? I say yes. Then I give you the number, and you follow up with me by text message by sending me something that is valuable. When you follow up by text message, because your name is in my address book, I recognize who you are, and whenever the text message bell goes off on my phone, I'm pre-programmed to have a positive reaction. Endorphins get released. It's not email, which I dread. It's not a phone call, which is interrupting whatever I'm doing. It's a text message. Happy. It makes me happy to get texts because the people who are texting me are people that I know and like. Does this make sense to you? Okay. Now, we eat our own dog food at Savvycard. That's a horrible phrase, but it's a really important thing to understand. I use share and text every single day. Okay? I've closed $50, $100, $200,000 contracts for my company because I met the CEO of an association or an MLS or a brokerage, and I said, can I text you my business card and follow up with you later? And within minutes or a couple of hours, I'm having a conversation with them by text message. We build a relationship, and it increases the likelihood we're going to close business. Whether you use Savvycard or not, use these words. Okay? So, let's move on to how do we do this. And I'm not going to go through every little detail. I'm going to tell you, go to Savvy School, watch the video, download the implementation guide. It'll walk you through all of this. But it's very simple, okay? I'm in a conversation with you. You already know from the conversation that you want to share your card with me. You're going to use share and text with me. So you open up your phone, you touch your face, it's opened your Savvycard, it's on your phone. You hit share, which is this button right here, while we're talking. It's easy to do. I do it all the time. You hit share, it opens up share to individual, and you select that. It's going to open this form. Now this looks daunting at first, but it's not. The form has name, mobile number, and a message. While you're talking, you're going to get their name, John Doe, you're going to type it in. And then you're going to start thinking about how are you going to follow up with them? What's your message going to be, right? It could be, nice meeting you at Starbucks. I'll follow up with you soon. It could be that simple. But you need to come up with a script that you use, okay? And it needs to not be sales related. You know, really enjoy making your acquaintance or whatever it is that you're going to say to them in the text message, okay? And you want to add just one or two notes that are simple that tell you where you met. Nice meeting you at Starbucks. We'll follow up soon, right? And then you look up and you ask them, can I text you my Savvycard or my business card and follow up with you later? They say, yes, what's your mobile number? Put in the mobile number, hit send. Okay? Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It'd be great if it was just like, hey, let me bump my phone with your phone and it swaps contact information, we're having a conversation. There are tools that do that. Google bought a company that did that. And then they threw it out in the trash. Why? Because swapping contact information isn't valuable. What's valuable is getting them to give you the mobile number and say it's okay for you to follow up by text message. And there's no app that'll automatically do that. You have to do the work to learn how to do this. It's not hard, right? You just have to do some role play. Now, who are you going to do role play with? Your kids, your husband, your wife, your business partner. If you do referral team, then you do the role play with your referral team. You get the loan officer, the title agent, the home inspector, the concrete guy, whatever it is, you all sit down and you figure out how to do this. You put in the work, and once you put in the work, this will be second nature. It's second nature for me now. Handing out business cards for me is lazy. I am not doing the work to increase the likelihood that I'm going to close a sale. This takes a couple of minutes to do, but it works. Okay?
This is happening live while you're meeting with somebody. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So, you know what?
Just like if I was to send a V card or whatever, my contact information.
Yeah, so people send V cards today. That's one of the things that they do, is they'll open up their phone and they'll send a V card. And the only difference between this and a V card is you're going to add a little bit of additional information, right?
Yeah.
When you share a V card, you're not capturing their name.
No.
You're not capturing their phones. I mean, they may send you one back, but then it just goes into your address book and you have no context, right? You don't know. So how would you do this? Well, I've gone through and gotten to my card. Tell me your name.
Jason.
So Jason, what's your last name? Fleming, F-L-E-M-M-I-N-G.
Say one.
Save one M, okay? I-N-G. What's your mobile number?
949-966-1505. You guys can all hit me up if you want.
1505.
1505.
Great. And I'm just going to say, great meeting you at OCR training. And then I'll follow up with you after the class. How about that? Awesome. Nice meeting you, man. So I step over here and I go, great meeting you at OCR training. Okay? And then I hit send. And when I hit send, Jason's going to get my Savvycard. Okay? Now, and I'm not going to send it right now because I'm going to put a real message in just a minute.
All right.
So Jason's going to get my Savvycard, and I'm going to follow up with him by text message later today. In 30 minutes after the class is over, I'm going to reach out to him and say, did you have any questions about the class? Can I help you with implementing Savvycard? Okay? But I'm doing that by text message. And now we're in a conversation. When you follow up by text message, here's what you're going to learn. The first and most important thing you're going to learn is this a qualified lead or not? If you share your card to me and we start a conversation by text message and you follow up and say, it was great to meet you at Starbucks, I'd love to buy you a coffee sometime this week, and I don't respond, I have dequalified myself. You're not going to waste any time because we've had the most intimate possible opportunity to connect through text messaging. I gave you my number. All I have to do is say, nice meeting you. But if I don't, it's not a good lead. It's not a good opportunity. And I know a lot of realtors who want to focus on getting as many opportunities as they can, right? What you want is less opportunities that are better quality. So you've got a question.
Yes, once you put that information into your phone, where does it go?
All right. So whenever you share the card to them, this is what's going to happen. It's going to pop up this little message that says download vCard. Okay? So when it says download vCard, it's going to put this information into their address book. Okay? Now, it's very important. You do not want to try to put your face on their home screen of their phone when you first meet them. That's not what this is about. This is not about invading the personal territory of their phone and getting your face on their home screen of their phone. It's about getting your information into their address book. Okay? If they genuinely or want to connect with you, this is valuable to them. And it's not hard. If I share my card to one of you guys, you press this button and hit save, and it's in the address book. Question?
Okay, so I shared it to myself as a test, and there's a number 8332874.
Yep, that's the Savvycard number. So click on the link. All right, it's going to open up your card. Unfortunately, because you've already loaded your card on your phone, it's not going to pop up and ask to put it in your address book. Okay? This is important. When you share your card, it doesn't come from your mobile number. It comes from the Savvycard text mobile number. So after you're done, you're going to get an email in your inbox that says, you shared your card to David Etheredge. Here's his mobile number. You're going to press that mobile number and send him a text message to start the conversation. Does that make sense? I'm going to show it to you. Okay?
So this is going into their contact list, your information.
Correct.
How does that lead them to this, to actually seeing your card with these elements, these options?
So it doesn't go into the contact message first. What happens is when you share your card, it sends a text message that says, thank you for requesting Jenny's Savvycard. Click this link to view it. And you click that link and it opens your card.
Okay.
So I'm going to do this. Hold on. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it up on the big screen so you guys can actually see this happen. Okay? Because I think this is valuable. All right, you guys can walk through this real quick with me. So here's my Savvycard, and I'm going to share it to somebody. Who wants to be a guinea pig? Okay. All right, I'm going to click Share to Individual. What's your name?
Shannon.
Last name?
Arts.
Spell it?
PARTS. 124.
Okay. And then one of the things that you can do, this is an upgrade feature, but you can actually set up a pre-canned text message. This one allows you to have multiple messages, which is the upgrade. But with your free product, you can set up a canned message so that you don't have to type a message in. Okay? So you're seeing the upgraded product, which has multiple messages, which allows me to have a message for different types of avatars that I talk to. Home sellers, home buyers, referral sources, and so forth. But as a part of the free product, you get one canned message that you can set up for everybody. So you don't have to be typing the message in every time you meet someone. Okay?
Question.
Yes.
What if that contact already has your information previously stored in their contacts? Does it kind of override
It
that?
updates it.
Or it updates
It updates it. It merges the two
Oh,
together.
merges.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to tell Shannon, thank you for attending OCR Savvycard training. If I could type, it would be great. And then I'm going to hit send. Okay? So here's what's happening. She's already gotten my card, yes? Yeah. Okay, she's already got my card. I'm standing next to her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, here's my card, click the link. Oh, she's already opened it. And she's already downloading the contact information. So hit this button right here in the upper right hand corner. Right? And then drag down to contacts, right there. And then save, upper right hand corner. I'm in your address book.
David, did you say that contact type message you have to put that in because it doesn't show anymore?
So the contact type message is an upgrade feature. It's like $10 a month. You guys get a product that allows you to have a default message, one default message for everybody you share it to. So you go into your card and you edit it. Okay, you just go into your card and edit it in the message. Talk to customer support, and they'll actually put that in there for you. Now, question.
Yeah, but on my home screen, I don't have an option for text.
On your home screen of your card,
Yeah,
you're not going to
just
text.
share.
You're not going to. You have to
I
turn
can
on
share.
text. You have to turn on text. We don't put your mobile number and turn on the text button by default.
Okay.
You'll turn that on. But here's how you follow up with. So I shared my card to you. I'm going to show you how I'm going to follow up with you.
Okay.
Yes.
And I see there is that download contact card for you, the agent.
Yeah, so I'm going to get to that in just a second as well. And this is one of the issues, right, is there's all these things that are going on at the same time, right? So let me work through it in sequence. When I share my card to somebody, it's going to prompt me to download the contact card for the person I just shared to. So let me click on this and let you see what it says. So that's Shannon Parks. That's her mobile number. That's the message that I put in, right? So I don't have to go back and manually put in her information. If you're doing prospecting correctly and somebody gives you a business card, you should be taking it, setting it down, and inputting it into your address book or your CRM anyway. So you're already manually inputting data on people that you meet. Savvycard is just changing where instead of inputting it after you get the card, you just input it while you're having a conversation with them and share the Savvycard to them. And then it automatically downloads this into your address book.
And then getting it into your CRM.
So there's an email that's generated every time you share your card to somebody that can be directed to go into a CRM. Okay? Now, on her side, what's happened is she's gotten my card, she's opened my card, and she's downloaded my contact information into her address book. So how do I follow up with her? Well, there's two ways to do it. The first one is I've gotten an email in my inbox. Let me open up my inbox. I've got an email in my inbox that says you shared your Savvycard to this person. Let me do a send receive. So I've got a notification that reminds me that I've shared the card. But while that's loading, I'm going to go to my Savvycard account. And I'm going to show you that it's gone into analytics. So this is the tile for my agent card, or for my business card. I'm going to click on card analytics, and it's going to load my lightweight CRM, basically my share database. And you can see Shannon Parks is right there at the top. Okay? Now, I want to show this to you because this is important. Every time your card is shared, you're going to get a record in here. I was in San Diego at a board meeting for another association. And Robert Calloway, who's a board member, after the event was over, after the meeting was over, shared my Savvycard to Tony Santiago, who is the head of their affiliate program. And he's like, Tony is PSAR affiliate director. So I followed up with him. I opened up this and I clicked on his number. I downloaded his contact information, and I clicked on his number and called him. I've got a meeting set up with this guy to potentially sell our affiliate product to their association. Okay? So, one of the things that you guys are going to go through is that this is a lot of information coming at you, and it's going to seem a little complex. Once you've done it 2 or 3 times, it's second nature, and it'll work. This was another person, a realtor, referring me using my Savvycard after I shared my card to him. He just opened up my contact information and shared it to another person. It was easy, okay? So this is your database of everyone you've ever shared your card to. Now, how do I follow up with Shannon, right? I'm going to go back to my email here. And hopefully I've gotten the Savvycard notification. Wrong inbox, that's right. There it is. So I shared my Savvycard to Shannon, and this is how I'm going to follow up. So I'm going to walk away from meeting her, and then I'm going to open this on my phone, and I'm going to touch this link right here, which is her mobile number. And when I touch the mobile number, it gives me options, one of which is text message. And I'm going to text her and say, it's great meeting you. Can we get coffee next week? Now, when she sees that, she knows my name because I'm in her address book, right? And so you just have a normal conversation with her. And it doesn't require the Savvycard tool at all. You're just using text to talk to her. Savvycard makes it easy for you to have the initial interaction and share your card because of the 13 magic words, right? Question?
Okay, so when you shared your card to her, and then when you do this, is it our number that's popping up in your phone, or is it some, like, Savvycard number?
It's a Savvycard number. The text system that we use, because we don't have access to your text messaging client on your phone. So the initial message that goes out comes from Savvycard. And it just says, here's David's Savvycard, click here to open it. When you open the Savvycard and download the contact information, and I follow up later, when I follow up later, it's going to come through regular text messaging.
Through our phone number.
Through your phone number, through my phone number. So when I click this link right here to follow up with her, she's going to see David Etheredge, not Savvycard. She's going to see.
She would have had to have
downloaded my contact information.
So my concern is that you do this and you share it, and it doesn't show your cell phone number, and they don't download it because people are lazy.
So you're standing there next to them. This is the key, right? How long did it take me to get my information into her phone when I shared it to her? It was immediate. So when you meet somebody and you share your card, you're just going to say, yeah, click there. Okay, I'm in your phone.
What if you would prefer to share it, but through your cell phone number so that they automatically just have your cell phone?
So you can do that, but when you share through your own cell phone number, you're not capturing any of their information, okay? But you can do that, right? You can do this. Everybody who has a Savvycard on an iPhone right now, I can show you how to do this, but it's pretty simple. You can do it yourself. So here's my Savvycard on my phone, right? At the bottom is the share, the Apple share icon. It's a square with an arrow pointing out of it. It's in the center of the bottom bar at the bottom of the screen, okay? If you touch that, it allows you to share this card by text message or by email, right? So I can just do this like this, and it puts my card into the text message. So you can do this as an alternative if you want to, but you're not going to get their contact information.
What you need their number.
Yeah. Well, you got to ask them, and now you're going to be typing in their number at the top of this bar if they're not already in your address book.
Like, we're going to be doing that regardless.
Yeah, you can pick either of the 2 ways to do it. If you're sharing the card to somebody that you already know, you use this method, right? But if you're capturing their information so you can start a relationship with them, you use the Savvycard share method, okay? But both of them are great. If I were to send my Savvycard through text message like this, it's putting my picture and my brand and everything into the text message, which is really cool looking, okay? All right? So you can do it either way, and all of these methodologies are covered on Savvy School, okay? All right?
I guess I'm a little confused though. If I just met you and want to send you my card, why not do it that way? I'm still going to have to capture someone in order to send the Savvy
You can do it either way. You can do it either way. If you want to share it using Apple Share, you can. You're going to need to type in their name or their phone number. You're going to need to open up a contact card, and you're going to need to put in their name, and you're going to need to put in a message that says where you met them. And that'll be in your address book on your phone, but it won't be in your Savvycard account. Which means that if you're putting all of your information in your Savvycard account so that you have an aggregate of all the people that you met, then you have it here. You don't have it here, you have it in your address book.
You said I can leave from that Savvycard?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can get that social share in my line.
Yeah, you can export it as a CSV into Lighting. Okay? All right, well, listen, guys. Yes.
So after you capture your information, it does go into that.
Into the dashboard. Did you guys, let's look at my dashboard again, okay? So you guys can see, this is my dashboard. It shows date, type, card share, card recipient, contact card, which allows me to download their contact information in the share message, okay? So you can see I've been sharing my card to people that were at trainings, OCR trainings and other trainings, right? So all these people go into this list, and then I can follow up with them, okay? So if you want to do it this way, her point is exactly right. They're going to get their initial text message from Savvycard. It's going to be an unknown number from Savvycard. But you don't worry about that because you're standing there next to them, and you're going to say, click on the link, hit save, okay? It's not a problem. If you're sharing it to people remotely or people that you already know, you can use the Apple Share or Google Share method to share it directly through a text message. And if you're already sharing content through text messaging, you already know how to do this. You just open your Savvycard and hit the share button through Apple. It's just a question of whether or not you want to capture their information into your Savvycard account or whether or not you already have their information and just want to share your card. Does that make sense? Right?
What's the step between them getting your contact information, right? That's just loading into their contact database.
Yes.
And getting them onto that card where they can now do searches. They can, right? That's the.
So I always do that after, right? So what is our goal with sharing text? Our goal is to start a conversation by text so that we can set another appointment with them, so that we can follow up with them and sit down with them and talk to them about real estate. Because I think most people find that if you go right into the sales pitch the first time you meet them, you're turning people off, okay? So what most realtors will do is they'll have a nice social conversation with someone. Can I text you my business card and follow up with you later? Yes. They start a conversation by text. And then in the text conversation, they say, I was thinking about what we talked about. I'd like to show you a couple of, communities that I think would be great for, you're an empty nester, you're thinking about downsizing. I've got a couple of communities I can show you. Can we meet for lunch? Okay? You're not trying to get them to use your card yet. What you're doing is using the card as a way to capture their information and to get the opportunity to start a conversation about text. Does that make sense? Does everybody get that distinction? That's right. Once you've established the relationship, now you're going to go in and you're going to say, here, let me share my card. I shared my card to you by text message. Let's just open that up, right? And let me show you how it works. That's when you say, let me put it on the home screen. Would you like me to say this on the home screen of your phone so you can get to these tools and these articles? That's when you do that.
But they could go to their contact. There'll be a feature in there where they can open up your card.
Yes. Your card is in their address book now. Whenever they see you call, they can click on it and open it. You say, hey, open up my address, my contact in your address book, and my card is right there. It has all my tools. Right? There's several ways that you can engage in that.
But it looks just like any other contact, or am I doing something wrong?
So it does, when you first share to them and they download it, it looks like any other contact because it's going into their address book. After they get it in their address book, they can open the card up and put it on their home screen of their phone. Okay? That's another course. That's advanced share and text. Okay? So look, this is why I said at the very beginning of this class, you need to pick one thing that you want to implement that I talked about in the class. It might be SEO. It might be share and text. It might be seller share, which I need to move on to so that we get this class in. The bottom line is there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize this. If all you use it for, and I cannot stress this too much, if all you use it for is for the ability to have a really natural way to capture their mobile number and follow up by text message, that's a great use case. You don't have to do anything else let me share my card to you. It's going to put my information into your address book, and then I'll follow up with you. That can be the only way you use the card, and it's very, very valuable. Okay?
I love that because at open houses, sometimes you get shut down. Just give me your card. Just give me your card, they'll say they want to get out of it.
I got to get to a cheeseburger.
Sure, I'm happy to. What's your number? I'll try to get down when I have a digital card.
That's right.
But so when you do that and then they store you into their contacts, the next time they go there and they click, this card doesn't come up.
No, it's in the contacts. There's a link inside of the contacts, right? So they can get to it through there. But we're not going to be able to we don't want to hijack their address book and force a card to appear if that's not what they're looking for. They might just want to get my email address or something, okay? So they can get to it. But the next step in the process, which is for another class, is once you've connected with them and you followed up with them, you can get them to put your face on the home screen of your phone. That's a separate process. Does everybody get that those are two different things that you're doing? The first one is just, I want to start a conversation with you by text. The second one is, I want to get my face on your phone if you see value in the tools that are on my card. Okay? Now, I got to move on because we only got 6 minutes left, and I want to make sure that we get to seller share. So, guys, Savvycard, everything that I've showed you, there are implementation guides, and there's materials on Savvy School that'll walk you through all of this stuff, okay? All right. So seller share is my favorite course.
And you guys want to spend 6 minutes on it?
I'm going to spend 6 minutes on it because it's that easy. If you guys want to stay a little bit over at the end, then I will stay and answer questions for as long as you guys would like. But let me just quickly get through seller share. It's super easy to understand and to implement. Okay. So let me open this with Google Slides and present. Okay. The best marketing invention in real estate is the real estate sign. Okay? Why? You spend $50 or $60 or $100 getting a sign, and it then creates leads and brand awareness for you forever. Okay? Unless you change brokerages, then you got to get a new sign. So most realtors that I know would love to put up more signs. If they had more places to put signs, they would put signs up, right? So here's the thing that's interesting today. What you're doing is you're asking the homeowner for permission to put your marketing materials in their front yard so that people in their neighborhood learn who you are, right? Is that a pretty fair characterization? Okay, this is their physical neighborhood. Do we all have another neighborhood that we hang out in a lot? What? Social media, right? The average person in the United States who's active on social media is active for 6 hours a day on social media, right? I spend more time on social media than I do in my house, okay? So wouldn't it be great if you could put a for sale sign in the front yard of their social media home? That's what seller share is going to do, okay? Now, before I move off of this, I want to tell you a dirty little secret, okay? Some people may get angry about this. 70% of the time when someone sees a for sale sign in one of your yards and they want more information, what do? They go to Zillow. Your for sale sign works part-time for the big portals, right? That's depressing. So seller share, I'm going to show you how to put up a for sale sign in the social media front yard of your customer's home, and Zillow can't cannibalize the leads off of it. Okay? And this is free. I'm going to skip over a couple of slides and go straight to the heart of this. This is a property savvy card for a realtor in Titusville, Florida named Kenneth Broadbent. Kenneth put the listing on the MLS. We created the property savvy card and we sent him a notification, email notification. He clicked on the button in the email notification that said share to home seller, and it shared the property savvy card as a branded email to the home seller, a lady named Alice Williams and her husband Jim. Okay? He then followed up with Alice and said, I just sent you the app for your home with instructions how to post it to Facebook and LinkedIn. Can I come over and sit down with you and let's work together to craft the message that we're going to put into the post so that we can get all your neighbors to take action? Okay? I'm going to read this post to you. This is the actual post. We will be having an open house for the sale of our home tomorrow, June 3rd from 10 to 1. Would love to have anyone that is interested to come by for a visit. Call to action number 1. Would love to have anyone that is interested to come by for a visit. Call to action number 2, and asking all of our friends to share on their Facebook pages. Okay? So here's another marketing tip for you guys. And whether you use Savvycard or not, doesn't matter. This is a really important thing to understand about marketing. When you advertise anything, ask for what you want. A lot of us are very polite. We don't want to impose on people. My grandmother used to be that way, so I don't want to impose. Yeah, I know, Grandma, but you're going to tell me how you're going to impose next, right? But could you rake my yard? Yes, Grandma, I'll rake your yard. So if you just said, I don't want to impose and never told me what you wanted, I would never have raked your yard. The bottom line is ask for what you want. Kenneth coached her to ask for 2 things. He wanted for neighbors to all come by for a visit, and he wanted them to post this listing on their social media page. Why did he want them to come by for a visit? Because he was there and he shook hands and met every single one of them, right? And why did he want them to post the Property Savvycard to their Facebook page? To share with their friends. To share with their friends to create visibility and awareness. This is the actual post that was posted. And you can't see it because it's very, very small, but it says 65 shares. Okay? What were the results? 2,772 people clicked on that post and looked at the Property Savvycard for that listing and spent an average of nearly 6 minutes each looking at photos, looking at features and amenities, and talking about it with other people.
And it's all branded with the agent?
All branded to the agent. Remember the Property Savvycard I showed you at the beginning that had the picture, that mini card of Bonnie Strickland at the bottom? That's your for sale sign in the social media front yard of your customer. Okay? Now, it generated calls from other agents. It generated 3 showings. It generated a 10% increase in website traffic to Kenneth's website, and it generated a 10% increase in likes on his Facebook page. How much did this cost Kenneth to do?
0.
Nothing. Okay? So if we move on, and I've already gone over some of this, but I'm gonna end with this slide, maybe one more slide. But I'm gonna tell you what you do as a agent when you're trying to win a listing. And I don't care if you're a listing agent now or you want everyone, what's the phrase? List to live, is that the phrase? List or die, right? Everybody wants listings. And you cannot go into a listing appointment and say, I'm old school, I don't really do technology, I believe in like handshakes and kissing babies, and you want to work with me, right? You can't do that anymore. You have to walk in with a strategy for how you're going to market their home through technology and social media. They must believe, even if you don't, that you are technologically capable. Okay? So here's the way you do it. One of your tools in your listing appointments is, I'm going to create an app for your home. Just for your home, nobody else's. I'm going to share that app to you so that you can post it to social media. So you know how we put a for sale sign in your yard so that everybody in your neighborhood knows that we're selling the house? Why do we do that? Because 20 to 30% of the time, the ultimate buyer is going to be somebody that knows or is connected to somebody that you know. Right? Those are statistics from NAR. So this is just going to help us put a for sale sign into your social media yard, right? Most people are going to get that connection and they're going to understand and go, that's pretty cool. I like that. Okay? You're going to say, I'm going to take this app and I'm going to share it on my social media pages. I'm going to share it to my team members, the other agents in my office. They're going to put it on their social media pages. My brokerage is going to put it on their social media pages. And I highly recommend that in every listing engagement appointment that you have, or listing appointment that you have, that you tell them you're going to spend real hard cash advertising their listing. People sort of assume that the home seller knows this. They don't. Okay? One of the criticisms of realtors is, I don't know what they're doing to help me sell my home. They just get a big commission, right? So my recommendation is take 1 to 3% of your expected net commission and set it aside for advertising on Facebook. Anybody in here want to guess what the most clicked on commercial content on Facebook is today? It's houses. Why? Because people like looking at the photos of houses of their neighbors. It is the most interactive content on Facebook, commercial content on Facebook. So when you get a listing, you want to post it to Facebook because people will click. And when they click, they'll see your face and your name, and they may click on the contact agent button and generate an inbound lead for you, okay? So this, if you don't have a listing, it doesn't matter. You're gonna talk to somebody and try to convince them to list with you, and you need to walk in with marketing materials where you can show how you're going to be technologically sophisticated and how you're gonna market their home. And seller share is a powerful way to differentiate yourself from all the realtors who are not in this class today, who aren't going to be walking in and telling people that they're going to do this. Question?
Yeah, this is probably more for Anthony. So when we do our Facebook ads, we have to have our DRE numbers on there. So if you're sharing it with a client,
It's going to have your DRE number on there based on your profile card. Yeah. Yeah.
The DRE number's already included. Okay. How do you do this? You get a notification from us. This is the property notification email. You've seen it before. Share listing to home seller. You click on that button. This is the form. You put in their name. You put in their email address. You hit send. Done. It sends a branded email to the home seller. Your realtor, David Etheredge, is sharing the app for your home listing to you. And here's how you post it to Facebook, and here's how you post it to LinkedIn with one button press. Okay? And you can also, and this is really, really a power user tip. When you sit down with your customers and you say the DRE number is on your agent card, which is connected to your property. Okay? So when you sit down with your prospect and you talk to them about listing their home, you're going to ask them a couple of questions. Okay? And I'm gonna play out here. For real, are you active on social media? What platforms?
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
How many followers do you think you have? Or friends, all together? Couple hundred? Okay. Would you be willing to post your home on social media to let your friends, family, and neighbors know that you're selling your home?
yeah.
That's what you do with your customers. Because if it's my father-in-law, he's like, Facebook? Facebook, I don't want people to know what I had for breakfast. I mean, that's a scam, right? And you don't want to be telling them that you're going to market on Facebook if they have that attitude. But here, she's active on social media. Is there anybody in the room who's active on Facebook and has 1,000 or more friends? 1,000 or more friends. Do you think if you posted that you were selling your home, you had an open house, and would they share the post that people would do it? Okay? That's powerful. It's powerful stuff. But again, this is a process you have to implement in your business, and it has to be intentional, right? Again, if you're not using Savvycard, you should still be using Seller Share to promote your home listings through the social media accounts of your customers. So let me wrap this up. I'm going to stay around and do questions. I'll stay for the next 2 hours if you guys need help or have questions. But here's the last thing. I'm going to ask you to do some homework. Hopefully in the last 2 hours we've built a little bit of a relationship, and I can ask you to do a little bit of homework for me. Open up your text messaging client, and in the number field, put 72889, like where you would put a phone number to text somebody. Put 72889. That spells Savvy, S-A-V-V-Y. And then in the message, type the word survey, and send the word survey to 72889.
Where do we go?
On your text messaging client, right? Create a new message, like how you would send a new text message.
Oh, not within the actual
Yeah, yeah.
Not within the Savvycard. This is within your iPhone message or your Apple. Like, if you were texting a friend, you would open it up and create a new message and start a conversation. So what you do is you text the word survey to the number 72889. And you can do this now, or you can do it in a few minutes, but please do it. There's a survey there, and I'd like for you to score 1 to 5, score the value of the course, and score the value of the speaker. Okay? The speaker was terrible, you guys. He was terrible. So
How long does it take?
30 seconds. Oh, have you not gotten it?
I haven't gotten
Put it
it.
up.
I automatically got it.
72889, you texted the survey. Huh. Well, if you don't get it, I don't know what to tell you. This is coming from Google, so it should happen immediately. So, okay, so some people are getting it. If you're not getting it, then try it again after you get out of the classroom and have a better connection. Maybe it's like T-Mobile and you have a poor connection.
I got all my bars.
You got all your bars. Then I don't know what's going on there. Fill out the survey. It'll only take a second to fill out the survey and let us know if this was valuable to you. And at the bottom of the survey, there's a list of some of our paid products. I'm not going to reach out to you unless you say, I'm interested in learning more about those paid products, okay? Because I want to be respectful of your time. So if you don't want to get any emails from us about any of our other services, do nothing and you won't get them, okay? So thank you guys for coming today. I want to end, if you need to go, feel free to go, but I want to end by going around the room and just quickly getting, did you see something that you would like to implement in your business today? And let's do this really, really quickly, just one sentence or one word. What was it? So, anything? Yes. Can you tell me what it is? So texting. You like all of the stuff. Okay? One thing. Sharing your business card. Sharing text.
Self-share.
Seller share.
So you are able to create a website for your own listed individual?
For each individual listing. So you like having an app for each listing.
I don't even know, there's too much.
It's overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
Seller share. Share and text. Back here.
I want to take back my leads from Zillow and Realtor, and I think I can do it.
With seller share. Great.
Capturing your phone number.
Capturing your phone number. Share and text. Yeah?
Seller share.
Seller share. Sir?
Seller share and
Having an application for each property. Sir? Seller share. Yes? Share and text. Yes?
Take a picture of me.
I'll go with share and text.
Share and text.
You're in the wrong network.
Share and text. Okay? Share and text. Share and text. Share and text. Share and text. Share and text.
LISTINGS.
All right. I think I'll let you guys go. It sounds
There you
like
go.
you found some value in this. If you'd like to stay for a couple minutes, I'm going to answer questions. So anybody have
I don't know what
questions?
you're doing.
Go ahead. Thank you.
I don't know what you're doing. I'm learning it just as much as you. I would ask that gentleman right there. All right, guys. So I hope everybody enjoyed your new member benefit product here offered by Orange County Realtors called Savvycard. So this product is absolutely free for all of Orange County Realtor members. So, and actually all of CRMLS members. So definitely take advantage of it. David's here today demoing this brand new product. I will be going out in the field hopefully very soon to train on this product. We're just working out some technical nuances for me to be able to give that training so I can demonstrate how really cool this card feature is. And actually watching yesterday and today's classes where I actually got to learn a lot more about what lead capture is all about. It's very interesting how some agents, perceive giving out or having conversations with people. So I know I've been talking about this for quite some time where agents really need to have something more than just a sales pitch and be able to have great interaction, but at the same time have a productive conversation. And what I mean by productive is that you exchange information. And if you exchange information with somebody that you've built that relationship with, either at an open house or a meeting or at the bar or at a restaurant or even just at the store where you're just picking up your groceries and somebody happens to see that you're a realtor agent, this is an awesome tool to be able to say, can I give you my business card and text message you to follow up, or text message you later to follow up on our conversation. And now you do it all electronically, because I know how expensive printed paper cards are, and I know sometimes that at those key moments, like at an open house, I'm sure most of you in Cyberland have discovered that you've run out of those business cards. And what do? Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't have any more business cards. No, here it's on your phone. Here we can now give that information, or you guys can give that information to a client who's actually really serious about wanting to talk to you. So this is a really great tool for that. Not to mention the fact that anytime you list a property in the MLS, sorry, I'm switching hands because my arms are a little tired. Anytime you list a property in the MLS, a Savvycard property website is automatically generated. That is huge. Because now, I know I've been teaching a product called RELA, R-E-L-A, which an agent can create a property website, which I still think is super good, but this is just as good, if not better. And actually, I can't say better, but this is a really good tool because now what you could do is import that Savvycard into your property created website that you create in less than 5 minutes. Here, the system automatically creates it for you that you can immediately start to send out and share with your clients immediately on their social media or on your Facebook business page or what have you. The only thing you really can't do is the targeted ad, and that's where I think REALA is going to help you out. So I think these tools that we're now being able to help you guys be able to market properties better show value. And I want you guys to understand that you need to show value to your consumers and your clients, right? Your relationships, they all want to know, what do you do unique that shows customer service? So this is going to be a way that you are going to be able to take advantage of that. Anyway, I'm going to jump off my soapbox. I hope everybody has a great day. Happy Wednesday, everybody. 72 degrees, 75 degrees, I think it's going to be here today in Orange County. Other than that, talk to you guys soon.